దర్శకుడు రామ్ గోపాల్ వర్మ ఆయన పరిస్థితి ఇప్పుడు ఎలా ఉంది, ఆయన 5 ఏళ్ల ట్రాక్ రికార్డ్ ఎలా ఉంది అనే సంగతి మనం పక్కన పెడితే ఇప్పుడు కొత్త ఆలోచనతో ముందుకెళ్తున్నాడు ఆర్జీవి. ఇప్పుడు ఫిలిం ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ని స్టార్ట్ చేయబోతున్నాడంట. ఇప్పుడే అసలే ఆర్జీవి పరిస్థితి బాలేదు, కానీ ఆర్జీవిని స్ఫూర్తిగా తీసుకొని ఎంతో మంది డైరెక్టర్లు టాలీవుడ్కు పరిచయం అయ్యారు. అందులో పూరి జగన్నాథ్, గుణశేఖర్, కృష్ణవంశీ లాంటి వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉండడం విశేషం.
I failed twice in intermediate and I failed twice in engineering. So I think it's very ironical that we are talking about RGV school. Though it's called UnSchool, its intention is to be school. See, right from the beginning of my career, for some reason I never said that it is the media which invented this word RGV school. And they kept on saying this film looks like RGV school, or that director is from RGV school, or things like that, as RGV school and shortly this stuff. I never ever really thought I mean, filmmaking can be taught, because it is an expression of the person, how he wants to tell a story. So the idea for me here is, when I never ever had any training, and there are many other directors like that. So what they are thinking from inside, an expression which converts into the various forms of cinematic art, whether it is camera work or music or whatever it is, And when I met film institute students from all over the place, I'm not naming one particular institute, I felt they're just following very old classical patterns of teaching. They expect them to understand very old time directors, like Battleship Potemkin. I'm not demeaning them. Of course, they were great films for the time. But I don't think cinema today is about what it was intended when it started. There's a lot of commerce involved, there's a lot of people's expectations, for various reasons. So I think today it's a professional course. It's no more a passion, just passion about an art. It's not that. So I think it's equally important to understand what made a blockbuster work. That doesn't mean one school is going to teach how to make a blockbuster. But I think it's important to analyze it. It's important to, kind of dissect it and make the students understand what do they want to do. Do they want to become an Eisenstein, or do they want to become Rajmouli? Or do they want to learn from Citizen Kane? Or do they want to learn from PK, for example? So I think UnSchool will be very radical. It will be exactly doing the opposite of what conventional film institutes will be doing. And that precisely comes from my thought process of not me wanting to teach, or the UnSchool wants you to teach otherwise. When Shweta used this word to make them unlearn, like instinctively people have something, and then traditionally people try to make people understand something else. What you are thinking is wrong, you should think like this. That is what schools do, that's what institutes do. But the UnSchool's point is to somehow make the students understand what their thinking is right, and to only be able to tell them or guide them or steer them what it is about. Then it obviously means it's UnSchool on another way. I'll share a small anecdote. When in Shiva, when I broke many rules, I didn't know even left and right of camera sometimes when I was directing my debut film. So even my technicians used to tell Nagarjuna and everyone that he doesn't even know left and right, how can he direct? And he doesn't know the basics or fundamentals of making, And after the film work, they said that's new age. They said that's new age technique, Now why did I break the rules? Actually, I didn't break the rules. I didn't know the rules. So when I didn't know the rules, I just followed my heart and how I want to see it, And that became whatever it became, you know. So similarly, I think any story or any given thing, different filmmakers are going to treat it differently, and their sensibilities will be different, and their way of wanting to capture will be different. The taste in music will be different. So the idea is to make them discover a filmmaker in themselves rather than trying to push a filmmaker into them. No. Any of the great filmmakers, when you're inspired or impressed or whatever one thinks, the bottom line is, so the thing is, you can be impressed, influenced, but you can also be impressed by a very unknown director, not necessarily what the institutes have determined as these are great directors. These are because they got awards or they got something. You can be inspired from a short film who nobody knows who made it. You know, so you are taking in things from whatever influenced you and impressed you, and you are trying to assimilate and absorb that. So UnSchool will develop a process of doing that and systemize it, like what she said. You know, systemize and channelize a very radical and a very anarchic kind of thinking. You know, without having any rules and any kind of a disciplinary functions, for example, you know. So because of my reputation, if I am starting a school, because I am first of all a rowdy, you know, someone called me a celluloid terrorist. You know, it's true, I don't know, it's true. But I hope and I intend through the UnSchool to make, very, very individualistic. You know, when a lot of people say, only after RGV came, assistant directors started sitting with them and they called me and called school, you know. They develop an attitude and, you know, arrogance and all that, you know. Now, because I am attracting people who have an individual attitude. I hate that very slave-like culture which normally people have, you know. So my, again coming back to this, when there are so many institutes, why start another institute if anyone asks that question? Precisely, I think the very title of the institute and also the 4 lines which is written in terms of professing its objectives itself will tell this is going to be unlike anything anyone has seen or experienced, and in terms of content generation or whatever it is, I think it will have methods which have never been heard of before. All those details will be given in about 20 days in a website which will be put up at a certain time, you know, and how the process will start and where it will be, and all those details will come at a later stage. But this press meet is primarily intended for people to know about the idea, and we are inviting people to apply on what kind of a criteria we require for people to apply, and what will be the selection process based on what needs to be. So we are trying to gather those applicants so that we zero in on who in a sensibility, who in a psychological pattern, whatever the UnSchool is looking for, you know. We want to choose the students who we want to be a part of the UnSchool based on a certain examination, you know, and that is what the principal idea of this particular press meet is. So, any questions?
Many crafts, chala crafts unnai kada.
Yeah.
Many crafts.
You see, I feel the main principal crafts in UnSchool will be acting, directing, some music, cinematography, editing, sound design. You know, any of the parts where you require a certain individualistic approach and a point of view, how you want to use them as storytelling elements. All that will be a part of the UnSchool.
You are not offering writing courses?
It might happen in the later stage, not in the initial courses, because I feel writing for me is a point of the thing. The filmmaker himself should write.
ప్రతి మనిషిలో ఒక దేవుడు రాక్షసుడు ఇద్దరు ఉంటారు.
పసారి కన్నా డేంజరస్ పోలీస్ ఆఫీసర్ మొత్తం ముంబై సిటీలోనే లేడు.
నారాయణ పసారి కేసు ఇన్వెస్టిగేషన్లో నన్ను ఎస్ఐటి చీఫ్గా అపాయింట్ చేశారు.
వాడు హైదరాబాద్.
డూ యూ ట్రస్ట్ మీ?
మీకన్నా ఎక్కువగా